I'd been like a mechanic, and in college I was an English major. And what do you do with a degree in English? When I would work on cars, I would quote Shakespeare to the people that came in and worked on their cars. I had a sign that said Karmakanic, car mechanic, out in front of the place, which I don't know if anybody got that. Younger people enjoyed it, but I don't know if other people did. I usually don't bother with stuff once it's out and it's available easily. This is an Ethiopian purple. This is a purple that came from Denmark. Here's a Rouge de Bordeaux, which is really, you can find it, but I'm around, but I thought, well, somebody gave me this stuff, so I'll see if I can put a little plot of it in and just keep it going here. Actually, the reason we came to Maine was because we were in Quebec City. She wanted to try to live in a city where they spoke French. And I couldn't get a job. I might have been able to get one in another month or so, but we just didn't have the money. So we just stopped on down here in Maine on the way, we didn't know where, and then never left. Yeah. And I started out, somebody gave me a little tiny handful of it. I've got, maybe 300 pounds of this stuff called Poltavka. So my hope is that we'll be able to work on that plot this summer and have it all ready for next fall. So I'm already working about where I'm going to plant stuff next fall. There are people all over the world trying to keep these old varieties alive. So I'm intrigued by that, but also at the same time, I want to have something that grows here. It isn't just so I can keep some little handful of grain going. I want to try to grow enough that it's actually commercially available for somebody, that somebody could take it and be able to make a living as a farmer. And today is what day? What's the date today? 14. I try to keep track of weights at the end of the year. How much I got off of each plot. More so than how much I plant. It's a lot harder to do that. And I also have this feeling about data, which is just that you collect all this stuff and then nobody ever looks at it again in eternity. And somebody asked me about it, and I said, I'm more into data than I am into data.